calling into session the Belle Plaine City Council meeting on Wednesday, October 1st, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Those in attendance are councilpersons Dylan McGrain, Judy Schlusselman, Mitch Malcolm, Charmaine McGuire. Also in attendance, City Clerk Sandy Walton and City Administrator Steve Beck. We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alright. Item 4, approval of consent agenda, council minutes of September 17th and bills received. Questions or comments?
Is that really what we pay monthly for line energy, gas, and electric? Is that average or?
It fluctuates, give or take a couple $1,000.
What's the most expensive building on there? Do you know off the top of your head?
Streetlights.
Streetlights, really?
That and probably the sewer
Sewer
plant.
plant and streetlights.
Okay. Streetlights, I wouldn't have guessed. Good to know.
Streetlights are
It's
like
like 40.
six grand, something like that, 5 grand.
Yeah, probably closer to $5 grand.
I don't remember, did we buy the airport trailer from Bruce?
We did.
Okay. That's the one that had the fuel thing in it, right? Okay.
I'm sorry, I think streetlights were 4,700.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're close to 5.
Yeah. No big deal, I was just curious. Seems like a lot of money, so.
It is.
Any other questions or comments to the?
Yeah, I had one question concerning, in the minutes, when we changed the definition of side yard and all of that last time. Are we going to get the word out to our public, to make them aware of these changes? Because I think it's going to affect a number of people that we've changed the definition. Maybe put it in the newsletter and, on the website at least.
Yeah.
On the Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook, website, newsletter.
You ran out of miles on your pen.
Yeah. Second one this week.
Sandy, would you like me to write about that, or would you like to put it in the general part, or?
Doesn't matter.
Any other questions or comments? Changes? If not, we'll go for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, councilman, of September 17th, and bills received.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. Item 5, resident comments.
Neither of us live in the city.
Alright.
Visiting?
Item 6, possible motion to appoint Garrett Land to fill a vacant mayor's seat until November election. Only one person submitted in writing. So
Would be Mr. Landis.
any discussion?
We're just happy you're willing to do it.
Yeah, okay. I move to appoint Garrett Landit to fill the vacant mayor's seat until November election.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-1.
Not gonna vote on yourself?
I'm not. I'm not doing that.
Alright.
Item 7, swearing in of newly appointed mayor. Where are we going?
I get the honors.
Oh, this is exciting.
You wanna go?
You tell me.
Do it right there.
Right here, so
Picture?
that's-
Right here.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Ready?
Yes.
I, Garrett Landit, do solemnly swear
I, Garrett Land, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability,
and that I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability,
discharge all of the duties of mayor for the city of Belle Plaine, Benton County, Iowa,
discharge all the duties of mayor for the city of Belle Plaine, Benton County, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Swing that gavel.
Couple signatures for me. I'll never write this on it back to you. Friday.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to item 8, update from Sean Airy on nuisance abatement at 1506 Rainbow Drive. Do we want to discuss that without him present?
I have not driven past that this week.
I
I
drove by
have.
there today.
It's mostly just detritus.
What?
What?
Just detritus in the yard.
The what?
Debris, detritus. Our odds and ends, you know.
I need a
Miscellaneous.
dictionary, man.
Miscellaneous items.
Actually, I thought it looked probably 80% better.
Yeah, it's better. It's
It's
just
better,
needs
yeah.
to pick up a few things in the yard.
Cut some weeds and grass down and, yeah.
The trailer's gone is the main thing.
And the lawnmowers are in the backyard as we suggested, and
Just keep an eye on
if
it.
he gets his chickens and moves his coop around back there.
So we want to,
I don't
But
think, I don't, the fact that he did not appear 2 times at council meetings, I think we can't just let it drop. I think we need to
Right.
keep in touch with him and let him know that we really would appreciate him coming in person and updating what's going on.
okay,
So the next one would be October 15th.
Is that right?
I believe so. Yep.
I guess we probably need to let him know what the end game is. I mean, when are we gonna be satisfied to when we're saying he doesn't need to come in and do anymore, as far as having everything in front's cleaned up to the satisfaction, just so that he doesn't feel like he's,
Constantly.
yeah, I mean,
What is the end? Just
Well,
weed mostly?
I mean, everybody has a different opinion. I mean, if it were my house, it would be different.
Exactly. I think that's very
But the improvement he has made, I think, to him may be,
satisfactory.
yes, major. But it would be nice if he came in to tell us. And to, say, is that what you want?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, like I said, I don't.
We'll reach out to him a little
Yeah.
earlier.
okay,
okay.
good.
That sounds good.
No motion for him to have to come in on the 15th, we'll just go with he needs to come in, okay. Item 9, possible table,
Yeah, I guess.
maybe he will make it. So we'll go to item 10, discuss for approval the closing of 700 and 800 blocks of Main Street, 12th Street from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday, October 26th for the annual Trunk or Treat celebration. Discussion.
Can I actually change those times from 1 to 4? Or we don't.
State your name and address.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
are you? Who are you?
Oh, hi, I'm Brittany Davis. I'm a part of the BPCDC. So I shut my phone. Because it's going to start at 2, and we want to give an hour before for them to decorate their trunks.
And does it end at 4?
We didn't really do an end time, but kind of guessing maybe 4. I'm double checking to make sure. Sorry, I wasn't.
I mean, you could leave it till 5, and then if everybody's cleared out, then
okay.
you can just go ahead and open it up.
Yeah.
But that way, if it is going longer, then we've got it stated as so.
Okay.
So you need it from 1 to 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brittany, anything else to that?
Nope.
That's good. 1 to 5 will be fine.
Yep.
Do you know if the petting zoo is gonna be in the second block like last year again? Have you
I
heard?
haven't reached out yet. I was waiting to get approval for the dates today to make
Okay.
sure you guys are gonna approve that.
Yeah, Well, that's not really BPCDC's event anyway, I was just wondering if you knew
Oh,
if she was
yeah,
planning on doing it
I
again.
haven't called her yet
Okay.
to see if she could.
So if we open everything up at 5, then if there's a movie later, then that's clear, and if the brewery opens down,
Sunday's matinee, so I would assume that is not fine for the city.
It's not on that side either,
okay.
on the brewery side. Would be more of the it's Utter Burgers, I don't know what their hours
700
are
block
on
would be
Sundays.
the movie and brewery.
Yeah, cause we have 7 and 800 blocks, so
So you're
that's
not
2
closing
blocks.
both blocks?
No,
They only want the second block.
we want the second one.
Okay,
I
so
thought
from
that
8th
sounded
Avenue to
funny,
9th
so,
Avenue,
yeah,
so the
8 to
800
9.
blocks, so
Yeah,
no
no
700.
700.
Okay,
Sorry about
catch
that.
there, man.
no, that's alright.
Mhm.
I'm just knowing that business
No, I have
people
no problem.
don't like when their patrons can't park in front of
Yes,
their stuff, so.
And I don't know the Utter Burgers hours, cause I think they're really the only people open on Sunday.
Is the barbecue.
Or are they open on Sunday too? I don't know.
Oh, I think.
Well, they'll have a
They
whole bunch
recently
of,
changed their hours till
They
later in
did.
the evening,
Yeah.
I thought.
I've got it.
I think
Hold on.
on Sunday, yeah.
I took a picture.
Carry on.
It might help their business to have, people might run in and grab something.
That's true.
Mhm. To get a to-go order or something like
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
Okay.
A burger with a Kit Kat.
Wrong year.
Yeah, you just wanna have.
Sunday is 5 to 8.
So it would be
Yeah.
to open
That's
for-
about, that's
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
alright,
Which one did you look up, Judy?
It's the new one that they have, the new
Firebox
fall.
or Utters?
Oh, this is Utters, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look up Firebox quick. Oh, their hours vary on food, doesn't it? Usually,
Well, yeah, what is the for Sundays?
it doesn't say.
So this is actually
Yeah.
true.
Yes. Yep. That's what I was looking for when I was flipping through it.
My apologies, I'll be better prepared next time. They're closed on Sundays.
that's what I had thought, yeah, so.
okay,
You're good.
that will work.
Alright,
If we're good with all the two changes,
Yep.
then we will go for a motion.
I make a motion to approve the closing of the 800 block of Main Street, 12th Street from 1 to 5 on Sunday, October 26th for the annual trunk or treat.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0. Item 11, discuss for approval the day and time for our annual trick or treat hours in the city of Belle Plaine, Iowa. Historically, October 31st from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Discussion to that. That is
What
a
time's school?
Friday,
It's a Friday?
I
Friday,
believe
yeah,
so.
no school
Okay,
Friday.
no
Friday.
school.
It's a Friday.
I was wondering why it has always been 5 o'clock, because I've just noticed in my neighborhood, there are not very many kids out at 5, even the little ones. And it's still blazing sun, at that hour of the day.
Mhm.
So I don't know if, what the reasoning was to set it at 5, 5:30, I don't know.
I don't know if we thought little kids would, what I was trying to remember is little kids were being taken around by parents early, I can't remember.
Depends if it snows or not, it used to snow.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
that's
true.
before.
It's no big deal, I just wondered, it just,
I
it
think
just
five
always
and
seemed
after
early.
That's a good
It just-
question.
I
It's
think
always-
5 days is fine. I mean, there are kids out after 8, and there are people out before 5.
Yeah, that's true,
It's just a guideline.
yeah.
Okay.
All you gotta do is turn your light out.
No further discussion, a motion.
I move that we approve the day and time for the annual trick-or-treat hours, October 31, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0. Alright, Item 12, discuss for possible approval renewal of a special Class C retail alcohol license with Sunday sales, Class A beer permit, and living quarters for Benton County Brewery Company, LLC, 708 12th Street, Belle Plaine, Iowa.
I talked to the chief this afternoon, since he said he wasn't planning on being here, and he said there's no problem.
No issues, that's good.
Any other discussion? Motion?
I'll make a motion to approve a renewal of a special Class E retail alcohol license with Sunday sales, Class A beer permit living quarters for Benton County Brewing Company at 708 12th Street.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0. Item 13, discuss for possible approval renewal of a Class E retail alcohol license with Sunday sales for Grider Beverage Depot, 708 13th Street, Belle Plaine, Iowa.
Same comments from chief, no
I
problems.
don't know, that one lady that works during the day, she's a lot of trouble. What's her name? Lynn something? I'm in trouble now.
You're on video now.
That's right.
Don't worry, I don't plan on messaging her right now.
No further discussion, a motion.
I make a motion to approve renewal of Class E retail alcohol license with Sunday sales for Grider Beverage Depot.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0. Item 14, discuss for possible approval of a business incentive grant area acquisition assistant grant for Kingdom Dental Care at 804 12th Street, Belle Plaine, Iowa. We approved the interior last time. This is the,
Hey Jay,
for the area with the acquisition assistance.
Yeah, I just didn't have the supporting documents.
Mhm.
And this grant is a standard 1,000, correct?
That's what it tops
Maximum.
out at, yeah.
And welcome him to town.
Oh, good.
Mhm.
Ribbon cutting is at 11:30, I think, on Friday,
Yes.
isn't it? Okay, an open house to go till, what, 3:30?
Yeah.
Mhm. Any other discussion? A motion.
I move to approve a business incentive grant, area acquisition assistance grant for Kingdom Dental Care at 804 12th Street.
Is there a second?
For $1,000.
Thank you.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0. Item 15, City Administrator Report. Go ahead, Steve.
all right, I met with Alliant to review plans for, in the route to get electrical upgrades out to the well field. Some of that stuff had to change, so I'm hoping that can move forward now, and once that gets moving, I will, give all that information to the engineers, and we'll have a drawn out everything. We had the pre-construction meeting at the well field for the North Wetland project, and that should be good to go to start when the contractor mobilizes out to start digging in on that. Then we went over the hauling route and all of those things. Jay and I have an upcoming pre-construction meeting with Alliant for the final projects for this year and spring, for the gas build out. And we're hoping they'll be pretty much done for a while around here. And I think there'll be two more for this year, Jay, in this construction season, if it's a normal construction season. Our tree grant bids came in for the Prairie Park area, and we're hoping that we'll have all that put together through ECOG for the next council meeting, so we can approve the contractor and get them started, and then we'll be doing that in the spring.
So they're getting some new trees down there, is that the deal?
Yeah, we qualified for a CDBG disaster recovery grant, and for trees. weren't able to do it because of the drought, and we weren't able to do it for a couple of other reasons. But they were specifically to try to replace some of the derecho damaged trees that were along the creek and along the trail on the other side. So they won't be in the prairie or next to the road, they'll be back in there. So we're gonna try to introduce more diversity and species back in there. Cause there's a lot of black walnuts and hackberries and things like that. As Jay knows, he had to tear out quite a few of that stuff. But so we're gonna try to get that replanted back in there a little bit. The reason we picked one location and we couldn't plant them everywhere is because we would have had to conduct a environmental study at each and every site where they're planted. So if we went and planted them around town, we would have to pay for because of the way the funding came, we'd have to pay for an environmental study at each project site. So it just wouldn't have been feasible. The quotes that we'll see will have maintenance, and so they're going to provide the trees, plant them, put fencing around them so the deer can't get into them, and then water them for a while too. So all the grant will cover all that, and that way we don't have to rely on volunteers or equipment or whatever. And that's just part of and that's what the grant was intended to do, is to be a kind of a hands-off project for communities. Dan Foley is back from vacation, and he and I are supposed to meet up here sometime soon to get a planning and zoning meeting set up to talk about the urban renewal plan change that we're gonna have to do for the Frontier project.
Has to be done no later than the 14th.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to get that done here in the next week or so, hopefully next week. So we've already there are some procedural things. We had the county supervisor and auditor down, and the school superintendent was here to do that meeting. And no one had any quarrels with our project, or any questions were verbal questions. Any written questions, we would have to submit them a written answer to. So that's just part of the procedure. So everything's moving along pretty great with that
Is
so
there
far.
any property left down there for other industry, or have we used it all up in the industrial park?
There's something left.
Nothing left.
There's one lot behind, there's an empty lot potentially behind Cars R Us. And
Okay.
if, not to speak of, I think we could potentially find something farther south if it weren't, and we'd have to investigate that. But there is potentially some appetite for industrial park in another location that Kate's been working on for a little while.
Okay.
So,
That's basically what I wanna know. We have some place for
yeah,
somebody to
we've
go
got
if they.
tentatively, yeah, we would need infrastructure build out and things like that, but it's also happens to be in a place where we're gonna be building out some infrastructure, so that's an
Okay.
advantage. I am investigating and trying to figure out what grants I want to apply for this season for infrastructure projects, and trying to figure out which ones will work together and get those applications in. There are several. I still have some research to do and some people to talk to, but I'm excited about the opportunities, and I'll know some more soon. I just wanted to let you know we're looking at them. And I will be gone tomorrow for a few hours to the Middle Iowa Watershed Management Authority meeting to talk about our project here, and to talk about other projects in our region that are gonna be focused on water and soil quality. And that's all I have at the moment.
Any questions for Steve? Nothing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Alright. 14, Mayor's Report. As mentioned, Kingdom Dental ribbon cutting at 11:30 on Friday, October 3rd. Also, fly-in breakfast at the airport, October 5th. For the area ambulance. I went to EMA on Monday night. They are working on Dwayne Arnold to get that up and going again. Next meeting is the start of the budget, so I guess that's really going to be a lot of fun. And they were happy somebody from Belle Plaine was there because they said it's been about 2 years since somebody's been there, so they were excited that somebody came from Belle Plaine.
Glad you're able to make it.
Thank you.
Did they say why they closed that originally?
No.
It had
Derecho
5 years ago.
damage, right?
So I can answer that. I didn't mean to jump in.
Yeah, no,
So
I don't.
Sandy and I talked with Tracy Seaman, County Supervisor, when he was here, and it had a certain lifespan, and it was nearing the end of that lifespan, and then the derecho hit, and it expedited the end date on that because they had a cooling tower, among other things, that took some damage. And somewhere along the line there, they, before the first useful lifespan, they got a second, like a extension or something. Does that sound accurate, Kate?
Yes.
So that was this, like the extension of the original, right before the derecho hit.
Okay.
That kind of came out. So what I asked was how, if it,
So they're not putting, they're not like, I don't even know, I don't
So
know much about this
they
place.
had dozed a bunch of the offices down and started
Okay.
decommissioning it. So they have to start from scratch on some things.
So was it like a new nuclear reactor, or is it the same nuclear reactor that they're just rebooting?
That's a good question. I don't have all the answers yet. I know there was some on-site storage, and it was like approved for that kind of use, so I think that's why they wanna go back to that site.
Okay.
But it's pretty, in nuclear reactor world, it's a small one.
Okay.
But it was, the company that bought it from Alliant, I know that, cause I think once you decommission them, they're like, stuff's still in there forever.
Yeah.
But they'll, to get it reactivated really isn't that big of a deal, and they need the energy. So I think especially with the two big
Data centers.
data centers that are coming in, they need all the energy they can get, so
That's your reason
Yeah.
it's coming back online.
And in Google and everybody, they're actually building their own small little nuclear power plants. So it's probably like half the size of Dwayne Arnold, but you're gonna see more and more of that.
I was just curious.
They basically don't have enough power to power the data centers that are
That
running.
makes sense, they're very power intensive.
Those wind turbines just
Yeah,
didn't turn
that's all I
fast
had.
enough.
Okay, no, that's fine. All right, we'll go to item 17, correspondence. A, CDBG DR grant withdrawal of project and possible options.
You're looking at me.
So
I assume this is your area of expertise. Maybe that's.
there's a letter of withdrawal in our packet. And then there's been some meetings since that time that have happened, and that's why we have Kate here to help us along as well.
Yeah, so Sandy and Steve made me aware was it last Friday? It's always on Fridays, ruin my day.
Sorry.
That Zach is pulling out, from the King Theater project, the upper story, the costs of the renovation to those apartments, exceeds what was initially projected, and the juice isn't worth the squeeze, particularly at this time, given he's got some other irons in the fire too, so, he has decided to withdraw from that. We immediately got in touch with ECOG and the state to determine whether or not we could utilize those funds because the developer was the one pulling out, not the city. If we can still utilize those and transfer those to another project here locally. Sandy was on a call with me with the state on, is that Monday?
Monday.
Yeah, and it seems very promising. They're very open to working with us on another project, but they want a solid project that isn't potentially gonna fall through the cracks. So I have 3 possible options on the hook of projects, but I think it's a matter of filtering out what's gonna make the most sense. So ultimately, we asked the state, we kind of gave them an overview of the 3 potential projects, and they said it would be up to the council to make a decision, but I've spoke to a few of you about it. I really think that we should just weed it out even further so that there's just one project to really look hard at. So that's really all the information I want to give you at this point in time publicly.
Yeah.
No, understood. So,
What's the deadline on that to make a decision?
I'm giving the deadline of Thanksgiving. They gave us a little bit longer than that, but I think that we need to have it all in place.
Because we have less than a year to get the project done, right?
Not necessarily. That could all be shifted and adjusted. A little bit. The financial component potentially could be shifted and adjusted if we're looking at new construction versus remodel, those types of things, because the grant is written, $75,000 per unit on remodel. I think it's up to $120 on new construction. So it just kind of depends on which one we go for.
The messages I heard, probably listened with a different set of ears, looking for different things. What we've been granted is pretty much what is available.
With a little bit of wiggle room, potentially.
Right, small amount of wiggle room, but, it's not like we can take, if we had, 360, it's not like we can come in with a $700,000 project. That's not something that they're going to have appetite for.
They want us to stay under 4 units,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah,
So we have to find something that fits.
Yeah.
something that fits. There's currently a year left on the timeline. Like Steve mentioned, they made it sound like there's enough wiggle room. They could probably go back to 2 years, which is what originally it had been allowed, 2 years. They could probably do that. That's probably getting close to maximum time frame.
Getting it off there.
And then they have a deadline on their end for the funds as well. So it would have to be spent within their timeline, or they lose it too. So
Well, good work, that's encouraging.
yeah, so they hit it really hard on. It's got to be something that's financially solvent, somebody that's going to do it, because they do not want a second bailout, and they won't tolerate it again.
Yeah, and they even mentioned they'd prefer to work with somebody that has been
CDBG
through this
experience.
process before. So.
Yeah, so it was promising though. When we got done with the call, it at least felt like, okay,
Yeah,
that's a strong maybe.
yeah.
I think it's a strong yes. Personally, it'll just be dependent on the project we roll up with, but I think it's a strong yes.
Because they said normally if someone backs out, they roll the money back into the pot and they do a whole nother bidding process, but there's so little time on their end to be able to do that, that they're willing to entertain.
That's really good.
Just going to the
That's
next
up to
project.
you, Kate.
Yeah,
For sure.
working on it.
She's all over it.
are we all good with that discussion?
Yep.
Okay. Glad they trust me.
Glad
We'll have a drumstick for you.
took the words right out of my mouth, I was gonna say.
Haven't let us wrong yet.
B will be FEMA assistance to the firefighters grant awarded of $171,428.57. So
That was exciting. This was their second time requesting this grant. The first year they applied, they were denied, and
Right.
they pared it down a little bit. Some fewer units, but still, covering what the needs are.
Reading.
Yeah.
Just a tank.
That's great.
That's
SCBA's.
wonderful.
Cause
So,
the first one was like a little over 200, right?
I think it was almost
230.
3. I was gonna
Was
say
it?
it's like 290.
Yeah.
Isn't that bunker gear and SCBA's?
SCBA. Yep.
Will this provide all of this equipment that is needed or just a portion of it?
I believe that they were going to buy a couple out without the grant, weren't,
I don't know if they had the compressor included in that the first time.
okay,
Sounds like we've got that, so.
yeah. So we did
You,
get the compressor.
you guys bought
in,
it, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, so
It's-
that can't be covered by this because when they awarded it, that's when the clock starts.
Yep.
You can't spend,
Project
reimburse
Free.
things you'd spent before
Yeah.
that, so. Still exciting.
Yeah,
It is. I'm
it's
happy for them.
huge. Move on to 18, old business. Discussion of city-owned medical buildings slash moving city hall. An email in the packet. I emailed, I think, everybody about it. Something that was just thought of, but possibly not a good option now. With this other CDBG grant projections that could possibly happen.
There's your hint. There's your really big
Yeah.
hint.
We might be able to utilize that building for something else.
But
good to be
I like the, I
creative,
like the
yeah.
thinking though, I mean, that was a good
Yeah, I
thought
like to throw it
process to
out
go
there.
through for everything, so
Great to be creative.
I think that's important going forward, just on throwing out possibilities and having us discuss it,
Well,
that's,
I mean, that's just it. I mean, just put it out there. I mean, even if we don't do anything with it, at least now he's thinking of it, and then maybe she's thinking of something different, and we don't know where it will lead. So,
right,
I
no,
mean, ideas are great, even if we don't roll with them.
yep, I agree with that.
But, I mean, unless you guys want to discuss anything further with that, but I
If
think
there's some
I'd say we can
emotion,
table it
yeah.
at this time, let's see how everything plays out, cause
Uh-huh.
we've got, you know, a couple of months, and then after that, and then if we have to revisit, we can.
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I was just curious what the intent would be for this building then,
Mhm.
you know?
And that's part of the whole big
Yeah.
discussion.
Yep.
What's the possibility, what can happen here, and
Yep.
how much space do people need, what, so, yep.
Okay.
I have some to add to old business, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
So, resident reached out to me and asked, he had previously applied for a business incentive grant, and it got pushed back, he was going in a different direction, but he didn't receive the grant. He wanted to know if we could revisit the business incentive grant, it's Bill Sankett. He had applied for a business incentive grant a while back, and I think you had said that he was gonna apply for a different grant.
Yeah, I held on to it,
Yeah,
um,
so I was just wondering if we could get that on the agenda for either next week or.
he was not awarded that other grant that
Yeah.
we were trying for.
That's been quite some time, hasn't it? That other one? It's been a
It
while
was probably,
since.
it wasn't quite a year, but it was probably 6 months ago,
Oh, okay.
yeah. But he's reached out to me several times about it, so just thought I'd bring it up.
Do we still have it?
Yeah, I think we have the application.
So just, yeah. Wanted to put it in. 'Cause
I'd say that if you got the application, it needs to go back to him, have him make sure everything's correct the way he
Mhm.
wants it, have him date it and sign it, so it's current.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cause anything that's gonna be old,
Yeah,
I don't think we wanna assume,
Right.
there's maybe something else he needs to add or
Mhm.
subtract.
That's all I had, so.
Thank you.
I'll just, meet with him and see if that needs to be revised at all and have them do the signature page with a more contemporary date and just submit.
Thanks.
The quotes and the invoices will have the original date on them, obviously, cause he had some emergency work, that was he didn't know how far he was gonna have to go.
Yeah, 'cause I know we talked about it, and you said that you're gonna try to get him a different grant, so you're moving in that direction.
Yeah, it didn't, that, there wasn't enough money, didn't have enough to cover it.
19, resident comments. Anything, Jay? Good to go. Okay.
Brittany, your niece changed her date on the holiday, or the trunk or treat.
So I got
December 25th.
She didn't change the date.
The times.
Time.
Sorry.
It's the same day.
Yep.
I was trying to make him laugh, he had a rough day.
Yeah.
As long as you're moving the barriers.
I saw him earlier, he was still smiling.
Alright. So we'll go to 20, committee of the whole, discussion on upkeep of city entrance properties. This has been brought up a couple of times, so, just so we can try and get this figured out, I guess. One question I had, Steve, was when Dollar General purchased that property, I believe it was mentioned that we did not keep an easement on that property. Where the sign and the trees and all that are located. Correct?
The
Or they didn't?
easement that we had on the property was written incorrectly, so it was for the other side of the railroad tracks, the south side.
Okay, so do we have any authority to do anything there?
As far as I know, we do. I can dig into that more. They
Okay.
said that they were going to with us on that.
Okay,
And I was just hoping that the original documentation could just continue on. But,
mhm,
that's a good question. I can look into that.
Well, here's the thing, when you come into town from the east and the west, going by at 30-35 miles an hour, it looks pretty good, you know, no problem. But if you just take some time to look at both of those entrances, there are dead trees, there are road trees, walnut trees going up in between the other trees. There are bushes that are conglomeration of several bushes that have just grown, and it isn't being taken care of. So I talked to Dan Blanchard because he evidently was on the beautification committee, and he said to me that he is still in charge of Prairie Park, and he likes to do that, and he's willing to do that. And that's fine, it looks good. But nobody seems to know who's in charge of taking care of the east and west entrances. The beautification committee, as Judy has kind of explained too, is a little bit defunct because everybody's getting so old that they can't really do the work. So there's work that needs to be done at both of those entrances. They're pretty sad.
Who's like it was always kind of Dick Wells that was kind of like the local arborist that would, tell people when you can. Because I'm thinking if you can get the FFA kids involved to where that would be a project for them, or Silver Cord, and get somebody who could oversee the kids and give them direction, but they could at least help get the dead stuff out and get things cleaned up.
Yeah, there's some trimming that needs to be done.
Or put the word out stating volunteers are needed for the beautification committee, make an effort. Instead of having the city workers have to go in, let's see if we can't rally around and get.
John Atkinson probably is going to be the go-to person now for, as far as like
Trees.
arborist type stuff.
Is he on the tree committee?
Yeah, he's on the tree board.
I think that'd be a great place to,
Yeah, because what does the tree board do?
entrance to town trees.
Good.
They're supposed to create the list of acceptable trees that can be planted in the right of way and make determinations on existing right of way trees on which ones need to go or be trimmed, or which ones you can't save, things like that.
I think if we can get those guys teamed up maybe with the FFA to get some, muscle and just have them review and see what can be done.
I agree, I don't think that Jay needs to take his time to trim trees if we can find some
Well,
volunteers.
let's give it a try.
Yeah. Yeah, they both need work desperately. I got out and walked all the way around both of them.
I talked with Vicki Schwab about Prairie Park, and she said the original intent of a lot of the trees that they planted was to keep it as a prairie park. But where's the line stop between where the sign is and the trees around that, and then the actual park, I guess
Yes.
was my question. Because, you know, if you've got rogue trees growing up and if you've got dead branches, then that needs to be
Well, Prairie
fixed.
Park seems to be in fairly good shape, and Dan takes care of that and the library. Yeah, but the other two, something needs to be done, it's kind of embarrassing, really.
I just think we didn't wanna step on any toes, was the first thing, is figure out, is
Right.
anybody
Yeah.
still
Oh, Vicky said to me,
wanting to maintain it, or, you know,
I'll tell you what she said here.
'cause you don't want, if somebody is.
Well, I like Mitch's idea of
Yeah,
Oh,
where
yeah,
the Dan, you said
John
Dan- oh,
Atkinson.
John, I'm sorry, yes.
No,
yeah, talk to him, maybe talk to, who's heading up the FFA now?
John Daniels.
Mr. Daniels.
Jay, maybe reach out to him, and then, if not, maybe post on Facebook and see if anyone would be willing to, you know, wanted to take a
had an
chance at.
interest.
Cause that's more or less what the beautification committee, and then
Exactly,
they just announced that they were all gonna meet out at Box Park, or they were gonna meet out. Cause I remember when they planted all those trees on the entrance in, they had a group that agreed to meet and go out and kind of get the mulch down and do that. Cause I think Paul Bulch was part of that at one time, and Dan Blanchard, or Dan Drehos.
Bill Schwarzkopf.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was,
Well, she texted me and said, the short answer is that Park and Rec is in charge, but I'm sure April doesn't know. And she says there's been a lot of personnel changes the past few years.
well,
And so
April
things have
really is
kinda
good at
just-
getting volunteers as well, so maybe between her and the tree board and the FFA,
Mhm.
they can come up with
Yeah,
a
2,
group
3.
that
And
can
I-
maybe revitalize.
Is
And at
there-
least have somebody there that, no, you know, we're not gonna trim this tree, or we're not cutting this one down, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Is there any reason why we can't use Donovan funds if new trees are needed, or new bushes?
That's
Yeah,
up to the Donovan board.
Yeah, we have to.
But it is, I am on the Donovan board, and I am thinking that is an appropriate ask.
Would be an appropriate
I think
ask.
so. Beautification of the community.
So if something needs to be replaced, there would be money for that. Just need to get some new volunteers, I think.
I got a
Okay.
rig. I'll come out and help you.
So we're good with start, or going on to that next step of,
Do you
we
wanna set
started?
some kind of like deadline, or like when you want this accomplished?
I was gonna steal Jay's
Well-
December 25th.
Yeah,
I think
The barriers are
I
put
don't-
up for
I don't know about a
2023.
deadline, but I
The-
definitely think we need to have, reach out to John and the others and get that
Yeah.
figured out
I'd like
first.
to have a tree board meeting anyway, to talk about the tree grant stuff, so I just wanted to ask if there's like, does this need to be done next week, next month?
well,
Some
trimming
things
time
are-
is at the end of fall. If you miss that,
It's just-
it'll be spring.
It just depends on
But-
what the thing is that you're trimming.
Yeah,
And I think, you know, it's been like this long, we could probably wait until spring, but
alright,
it
just wanted
needs
to
to
make
be.
sure I had cleared objects, so I knew what the expectations
I
were.
think
But-
it'd be a great idea to get your plan going with
Yes.
the
Yes.
people
Yeah,
to
I
begin in the spring.
I would
And
not
you
want to wait
get the
to
road
make the
that way.
plan until spring. I think that needs to be done right
and
away.
I think I'd like to do it, get the plan going this fall. Alright, thank you.
I can trim them at ground level.
There are a couple dead ones you can.
Wait till the compost site's open.
I'm sure we don't want those rogue walnut trees. Be-
Oh, the famous lines of, whoops, that was a good one. Oh, my goodness.
I trim year round, I just don't tell them that.
Exactly.
Thank you,
So, all right,
everybody,
we're good.
because that's been
Yeah.
kind of a,
No, it's good. I think it's wonderful.
and then committee as a whole, I don't know where we discussed different things, but I'd like to remind everybody that the time capsule will be opening this July. So,
My
yeah,
grandma
so,
put stuff in there.
oh, my dad's got tons of stuff in there.
Is it out front?
Yeah,
Wow.
so
Time
we
capsule,
need
so
to,
Was it
Yeah.
the sixties, or when did they
50
do that?
years.
50 years, 1976 to
That was written
19.
stuff in
or 2026.
That's
I know,
cool.
I didn't know.
And so we need to,
Yeah.
I don't know who would be in charge of some kind of ceremony for that opening.
The tree board.
But,
The
Poor
mayor,
tree board, they're getting
the mayor.
I mean, I don't know if it would be the BPCDC or whatever.
I'll do the digging.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's, I don't know how
Is
far
it-
down under it is.
Is it here?
It's right
It's
out.
right out front.
Right by the
Down
flag.
The time capsule probably asbestos, Jay.
Probably got water in it.
The school
I
one
was
did, the
gonna-
school got ruined.
Really?
Oh.
See if I could find out some information about when it got buried. It was in November.
I have the article.
Yeah, see if you know where it's at for sure
You
too.
have the article? Oh, good then.
I know where it is at the museum.
Oh, good. I wanna,
It's one
maybe
of
I'll
them.
stop down
We
and
have
read
four
that.
hundred and 50,000 negatives. Well, we do, we have all the Union negatives, I got photos for you.
Oh, perfect. And my family's very excited because all of my brothers and sisters will hopefully still be living. Got one to be in the 80s.
I don't know, your
and
clock
two
was
in the
ticking
70s.
Yeah,
half an hour ago.
I know.
So Charmaine, what did you want with that, with the committee of the whole, just discussion later on, or where,
Who's in charge?
I just
Okay.
need to know.
that's probably in the article
We,
from the
we can,
seventies,
we can
from
probably make
76.
you in charge of it if you want, you know,
No?
cause I don't know, you know.
Well,
I'll
so
have
we'll
to,
check
I'll have
it
to
out.
look,
I'll
I'll have
check
to
out
look at
the
the newspaper
and
article
see what they
because
did
I
when they
can't
buried it.
remember
Do
Right.
the same
if the
thing only
Masons
backwards.
the Masons that were involved in that at one point.
I don't know.
They might have been.
I don't know.
That's why I thought it'd be interesting to find the
That's Dave
articles.
Raubach. He's the one that provided the vault,
Yeah.
Oh, did he really?
Mhm.
Well, then he knows some stuff.
the casket vault.
He was on the
It's
agenda
that big?
Huh?
It's that big? Like
I
a human
guess.
size?
Yeah.
Are we
It's
gonna
got-
have the flower bed out there this next summer? I'm not gonna bother with it if you're gonna dig it up.
Are we
Yeah,
gonna put
that's
stuff
it.
back in it and leave it in there?
That's the other thing,
Well, see,
yeah.
that's the other thing, we need
Yeah.
to make a decision about,
Well, you have to put
will it
something
be
back in.
resealed or done or what?
You have to do another time capsule,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I will not
Okay.
see that one.
I'll put one of the COVID
Masks.
Chromebooks in there.
Maybe if we get lucky, I'll see it, but, you know.
I'm very excited about it, but I just knew that time was coming up and
No,
we
it's good.
had talked
Yeah.
about it.
I've
yet.
thought about it, cause I see it out there when I walk by, so it's definitely good to bring up.
Yeah, it's a big deal for the city, I think, especially since it'll be on the 4th of July.
Alright,
And I had one thing too that I'd like for us not to forget about. I brought up last time about the possibility of having a 15-minute reserved parking spot out in front. So if we could get that on the agenda again to talk it through.
Or you could just move the city hall and have better parking lots.
That's table till after
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
that's right, I forgot.
so, for the next meeting,
Perfect.
The next meeting or the one after that. And also we need to not forget that we want to get together and talk about reviewing the water project as a group.
I'm
What's
wondering if,
going on, bring everybody up to date.
I actually have a couple other things of interest to discuss, and I'm wondering if we shouldn't have a workshop.
okay. Shoot them all to me, and then we will work on that,
Okay,
okay?
Good plan.
sounds
And
good.
then I will need everybody's phone number after the meeting, cause I got a new phone and I don't have everything that I used to have.
Same number or?
I have the same number, but I switched from Apple to Android and it won't take everything. So I've lost some
You're
stuff.
gonna
That'll
be much
teach ya.
happier and sleep at night.
I will. So anyways, with that, item 21, adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7:20.
New record.
Did you